Good afternoon, guys. 2022 CT4-V. Is that, am I saying it right?
CT4-V, yeah. Blackwing.
V6 with twin turbos. Customer installed this aftermarket airbox, which is gorgeous. And these cars have dual mass airflow meters, so there's one for each bank. One here and one here. I don't recall it having the issue that we're having. The two maps read differently.
By a drastic degree.
Yeah, a lot more than I would expect.
Yeah.
You know? And I almost wonder if, you know, there's something in the airbox that's not dividing the signal, and there's some turbulence I'm seeing in the data. I mean, it doesn't affect full power, but it does affect the drivability a little bit. I had to do a lot of tuning on the MAF. It was way out of whack. I got it as good as I can get it, but with the data being erratic, I'm chasing my tail, going around in circles. I got it to a point where its average is a hell of a lot better, but there's some turbulence going on in this airbox. So, you know, like I said, it probably makes more power, but it doesn't have the drivability that the original airbox has. So I'm not knocking it. I mean, if you're after performance, this is what you got to do, and sometimes you got to make little sacrifices. We don't like to make sacrifices, but sometimes that's what you get. So what do we got?
Made, let's see, that was pull 5, so that was 483
pounds of torque, and I think it was 433 horsepower. Now, mind you, the dyno is still not reading quite accurate. We pulled up old dyno sheets from this car on the old system, and it's making a lot more torque but less horsepower. So, you know, we know that we've made gains. And just to give you an idea, what do we do here? Manage loaded data, right?
You trying to pull up the old one, or are you trying to?
No, I'm going to pull up one of the early pulls.
Okay.
So we're going to take out this one.
3 and.
Oops. Darn
Oops.
it.
Oh well. You can still go to add right there.
Add data, and I'll go 5. Okay, and then add data, and I'll go.
I think was it 1 or 2?
Okay. And pretty significant gains. It was 2. Did I add the wrong one? A second.
Both PTDA.
Okay. Just want to make sure I didn't do anything wrong. Still getting used to the system. Say like that one there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take 1 out of there. And I turned the power up, and then it wanted to close the throttle. So I had to work on that, and I got that straightened out, and you know, so then you got a much better curve all the way around. But that's like kind of like the baseline, and that's the finished. So we made some good progress on it. I got the fuel trims next to nothing at wide open throttle. I got them better everywhere else than they were. They were in the 30% range. So all in all, a successful day. I think, you know, might have to take a good hard look at the inside of that airbox and how it's designed, and see if there's any dividers in there. That might just need to add a divider, you know, and that would dampen any turbulence from either side, you know, because the turbochargers act on the mass airflow meter. You know, there's pressure waves going in both directions, and if you move in and out of throttle, you see the MAF go.
Yeah, I saw every time you were making a throttle transition. Yeah, I saw it would wig out.
So, you know, the better you dampen that, the more accurate the mass airflow meter can be, and it doesn't get upset. But we got some good power. Now, like I said, this thing made 450 horsepower on our old dyno set.
Yeah.
It's probably approaching that 500 range now.
Yeah.
So 480-ish, I would imagine. Since we picked up about 20 horsepower and probably 30 or 40 foot-pounds of torque from the start.
Yeah, it was about 40 foot-pounds of torque. Yeah.
So it's pretty good. He's going to feel that. Should be fun. Yeah. Good day. Any questions or comments? Post them down below, and be sure and leave us a comment, a like, a share, something.
Happy face, frowny face.
Yeah. Have
Anyway,
a great day, guys.
Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned.